Angela has a passion for learning and helping others to live their best life. She has spent the last 3 years researching the impact that digital addiction has on people's lives. She's here today to help parents understand the potentially dangerous impact a digital world can have on our children and how we can help our children to stay safe online. The speech entitled Gen Z, What Every Parent Needs to Know. Please welcome Angela.
Thank you, everybody. Raise your hand if you are a parent. Lovely. Now, please keep your hands in the air if you are the parent of a teen. This speech is for all parents, but it's particularly important for the parents of teens. We, as parents, are the ultimate role models for our children. So we need to be who we want them to be in the world. In their brilliant book entitled Hold On to Your Kids, Dr. Gordon Neufeld and Gabor Mate tell us that the most dangerous competition that undermines a parent's authority and parental love is our children's increasing bond with their peers. Parents need to matter more than peers, and here's why. Our children need a sense of direction, like the baby duckling that hatches from its egg. If mummy duckling is not around, that baby duckling will attach to the nearest moving object, be that a dog, a cat, or even just a mechanical object. Similarly, if we are not deeply attached to our children, they will attach to someone or something else for their sense of direction, be that their peers, the internet, or their smartphones. But there's good news. Nature is on our side. Our children want to be bonded to us, even though it doesn't always appear that way. But the culture we're raising our children in today is radically different from when we were teens, largely due to advances in technology. Parenting seemed so much easier back then. Now, I don't know about you, but when my 16-year-old son is not asleep, he's online. He's on his Xbox, he's on Snapchat, he's on WhatsApp. Now, I consider myself to be fairly tech savvy, but he sat with me a few weeks ago while he was chatting with his mates on Snapchat, and I was blown away by the speed of their interaction. And this raised a few questions for me. Do we, as parents, know who our children are chatting to? Do we as parents know what our children are chatting about? Do we know what websites they're visiting? Bottom line is, do we know how safe our children are online? I chatted to a friend of mine last week who was devastated that she'd caught her 12-year-old son watching pornography on his smartphone. She'd put parental controls in place, but his peers had taught him how to bypass those controls. Now, the internet has made a digital world accessible to our children, and that's a good thing. But it's made our children accessible to a digital world and all the dangers that lie within it, like pornography, sexting, grooming, and cyberbullying. And that's not a good thing. By the time our teens reach adolescence, we would hope that we have raised happy, healthy, young men and women who are ready to start loving relationships. Now, unfortunately, I have a first-hand experience of the devastating impact that porn can have on relationships. And as a result of that, I've studied the impact of digital addiction on relationships and our children for the last 3 years. And as the mother of 2 young boys, I've realised that we as parents, we need to teach our children, it's vital that we teach our children how to stay safe online, emotionally, physically, and psychologically, so that they can become emotionally mature and secure young adults. So I'd like to share with you some of the things that I've learned on my journey. So why do we need to worry about porn? Well, the neuroscience has proven that watching pornography lights up those same neural pathways in the brain as substance addictions such as alcohol, cocaine, and heroin. Users get that same dopamine fix, that same high. But the porn of today is instantly accessible. It's freely available, and it's anonymous. No more trying to get that dirty mag off the top shelf in the newsagents. It's there at the touch of a button. And our kids are literally carrying this round in their back pocket. Now, as with all addictions, users need more and more of their drug of choice to get that same high. With porn, this means they look at more and more extreme genres of porn. However, the porn that's available on the internet now is much, much more hardcore than those Playboy magazines of yesteryear. The average age a child first sees pornography is just 11 years old. And that's getting younger by the year. Our kids need to learn about sex. And they will learn about sex. But if we do not step up as parents and teach them in an age-appropriate way about what a happy, healthy, sexual relationship is from a young age, then vile, extreme, aggressive porn will do that for us instead. Now, why do we need to worry about sexting? The UK is suffering a sexting crisis. And in the split second, or the minute that our children make that split second decision to hit send on their phone, those images are out on the internet forever. Unfortunately, when young love turns sour, these images often end up on revenge porn websites, just as celebrities like Talisa and Rihanna have discovered. In the UK, it's illegal to send or receive sexually explicit images of anyone under the age of 18-year-old. The youngest person in the UK who has been investigated for sexting, for sending a sexually explicit image of himself to a child, is just 5 years old. 5. Now, why do we need to worry about grooming? In 2014, Lewis Danes groomed 14-year-old Breck Bednar using the shared interest for online gaming. Danes lured Breck to his flat, where he then stabbed him to death. Last year, the NSPCC reported a 50% increase in the number of grooming cases, and a 200% increase in the use of Instagram to target our children. Whose child here has an Instagram account? Scary, right? Our children are being targeted by paedophiles and sextortion rings. Sextortion rings entice our children to strip, often worse, or do worse, in front of their webcams, while they secretly video them. And then they threaten to release those videos onto the internet to go viral. And suicide is generally the way out. Great parenting is not about what you do for your child. It's about who you are to your child. Being a teen is hard work, but raising a teen is hard work too. Now, if you want to learn more about how to help your children stay safe online, emotionally, physically, and psychologically, then please contact me to learn about the digital parenting workshop that I run. As parents, we are the ultimate role model for our children. So please be who you want them to be in the world. Thank you.